Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Encounters, the really late night show. And sorry about being late. We had the Aurora Borealis here happening from the sun. So a little bit late here. We had the Aurora Borealis, so therefore we weren't live earlier. And we are live now. And we are doing Encounters, the Ashtar Command Q&A. My cat is here with me. She's really hanging out here. She's just being a good girl. Welcome to Encounters. Oh, you noticed that my hair is different. Thank you, Summer Mason. Thank you. Yes, we have a new haircut. Yes, as it's getting really warm out. Voice of one, welcome. This way, for the summer, I'll feel more comfortable. So it feels much lighter. I get my hair cut this afternoon. Hey, Terry, welcome. Good to have you with us. We're just going to do something here. And we are glad to have you all here tonight. We're going to do some Q&A. A little bit late, but we'll be here since we got on at 12:30. We're going to go from 12:30 to about 2 a.m. in the morning. So we're going to have from now on the East Coast to about 2 a.m. 2 a.m. will be sign off of the show. So we're going to be on here for a while. Yes, we're wearing different glasses tonight. And hope you're enjoying the program. Yes, we are just wearing different glasses. Good to see everybody here. And it's a beautiful, clear night. Tonight we had, evidently, and tomorrow night again, we're going to have the Aurora Borealis hitting this part of New England. And we should be able to see some beautiful colors from the solar flare-up on the sun that is happening right now. So it's good to have everyone here. Hello, Jen, everybody, AR. And I hope you're all doing well. We have hey, Alicia, good to see you. Everyone coming in here. Hey, Michelle, good to have you with us. Hope you're doing well as everyone else is. John, everybody. Alicia from Nor. Nancy Day, welcome to the show, user 885. You're watching Encounters. Jason Williams, welcome. Mary Chisholm. Natasha, good to see you, Natasha. I'm glad you're doing well. Hey, Weird Things. Hi, how have you been? We've been doing good, Rich. Hope you're doing well this weekend. And, we've been actually working on my last row on my micro farming, and I'll be planting plants tomorrow in the last row. And then we have completed everything. For those that don't know, beyond being on TikTok and having a popular program here, I am very much into growing watermelons and grapes, strawberries, and I'm now adding blueberries to the till tomorrow morning. And so I'll have that whole completed. Oh, good. Alicia, thank you. I'm going to have to check that out. I can't wait to look at that. And what I'll have to do is play the audio on the show. As a matter of fact, Alicia, I'm going to bring you up for a little bit here. If you have a chance to come up. And we're going to, if you have the audio, we can play the audio from your end on here so people can hear the audio of my sister who popped in to my house the other night. And that was like the first time that ever happened. So for those that don't know what's going on, again, I'll invite Alicia up here if she wishes to come up here. The technical wizardry of Alicia, thank you very much. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Raider895, thanks for the share. Do you think they are interdimensional or extraterrestrial beings? Oh, I think it's both. Interdimensional, non-interdimensional, multidimensional, on every level. Hey, Ray, good to see you. Thank you for the chili. Thank you for the gimme gift. Thank you. Yes, Ray, I got a haircut because it just is getting out of control and it's getting too hot. Hey, for all relatives, good to see you. And let's see if I know that because I wasn't on earlier. I think April's on live right now. But let's see if someone can get her over here. We're going to bring her onto the set here with us. RN Nurse, welcome. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that very much. And thank you, 0000. Thank you for the follow. Eric Gerard, interplanetary, yes, absolutely. Hey, Ghost, how you doing? Let's see here. Hey, Trisha. Yeah, let's see if I can bring it up here. I mean, it's we can probably switch over here. We'll have it go live. I know there's some Ashtar command ships and stuff going on. Yeah, April's on live right now. I'm going to try to get her up over here. I'm sure she is wondering what happened to me at 11 o'clock. Hey, sassy little mama, good to see you. Danny Hobbs, welcome to the show. And tonight, we're going to answer questions regarding the Ashtar Command. This is our Saturday night edition. We switched it from Friday to Saturday, and we're going to do Saturday night editions of our special on Ashtar Command, or I call it Ashtar Galactic Command. There's many different ways you can, well, there's only two different ways you can look at it, right? But welcome to the Alex Dr. Something, Shenanigans, welcome. G-Man, West Hollywood, T. Diaz. Good to have everybody coming, all the people coming in here, welcome. And thank you for the heart. I haven't set up my goals yet for tonight, but we're going to get into, thank you, Dorita. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Yeah, grandfather clock. When you say why they are hiding, are you asking me why are the space people hiding? I think that's your question, to be more specific. I think you mean why are the space people not visible to you? Yeah, okay. So they're not really hiding. Actually, they've been here in variations for billions of years. In our current Earth history, the first time was when they came back was after the creation of the nuclear bomb, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. When the hydrogen bomb was blown off, it alerted the space people to our planet that we were playing around with things that are going to reverberate the universe and affect people. So they made themselves known. As a matter of fact, the reason why this planet's still here is because of the Ashtar Command interacting and shutting down nuclear facilities and nuclear silos during the Cold War. That's why the current history of current humanity is still here. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Thank you, Beth K. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much. And so that's why, and they're not really hiding. They're getting prepared for direct contact with the people of Earth. And that is, again, as more of the various, hey, Beth, thank you, as more of the galactic levels of light come to Earth, more and more coming from all over the known universe that are what we call the positive space people. The positive space people look just like us. They're a little bit taller than we are for the most part, but the men and women, they are looking just like us, and they're from many, many planetary systems of light. Yes, the contact will be friendly. So whatever you see on the internet or whatever you see on TikTok or YouTube that tells you otherwise, understand that the information that you'll see saying that the contact will not be friendly is most likely induced misinformation. Um, yes, as misinformation by the government. The government has probably has planted agents on all social media platforms to infiltrate and present misinformation of things that aren't actually accurate regarding friendly contact. So the more and more as it gets closer to contact, Karen, thank you, there'll be those on social media platforms that will be misinformation agents, so to speak. They might have websites acting like, the contact happens, we have to defend ourselves from the contact, and that's just not true. If anything, those that would say we have to defend ourselves from any contact are basically trying to say that if we don't do that, that these space people are gonna gobble up our planet, and that's the end of it. When in fact, the negative ETs that have been here for over 70 years in current human history, they've been here for a long time, are now being rounded up and taken off the planet, which is happening now. They're being gathered and they're being taken off the planet. And that is part of a program of the Ashtar Command now, which is basically saying, this is it. Those, thank you, Karen. Yes, it's a haircut. Yep. That the negative ETs that have been playing around and messing around with humanity and all life forms on our planet, their time is ending. And if they act as if they have like thousands and thousands of them, be it reptilians or whoever, they don't. They don't have thousands and thousands of them. They lie very much to let people think that they are overwhelmingly all over the place, and they're not. As a matter of fact, they've been afraid and they've been hiding from being captured by the people of light from other planetary systems. They've been hiding, and then they try to induce fear in people when in fact they are basically at their last straw. Hey, Linda, good to see you. And they really are at their last straw. They're in all places. There are obviously all over the world, not just there, but all over the world, Judy. They're everywhere. I mean, or at least they were. They are being rounded up, though. Thank you, grandfather. We appreciate your question. Gosh says, if you all went outside and look for the North Star, it's been gone since November 23rd. I hope someone. We'll have to take a look tomorrow night when we go out to look at the solar storm that's happening. Hey, New Zealand Operation Time Rich, welcome. KKRN82, thank you. Tahar. Beth, thank you very much for the hat. Oh, wow, that's no. Hey, I'm a disco cosmic kind of guy. Red One, thank you for Red One. We, now you can see I do have actually a face. Cuddy, uncontrolled love, peace, and happiness to all in abundance. Beth K, thank you. I appreciate that. I love that. That's really beautiful. Thank you. Trisha North, they are watching ships on April's live. It might be a while. I gotcha. I'm going to try to. Hey, Jack, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Spirit, thank you. I want to try to drag April off of where she is here. So if some people can kind of get her to come here, we'll put her on live. Got you some got you some Wi-Fi, bro. Manuel Portillo. Hey, Manuel. Let's see here. Yeah. Hello, we are coming now. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, April's coming good. I got on here late, but I knew I'd get on here. She's on her way. We'll get her on here. So we're going to, have April, my sister, up in Vermont on here. This is our first Saturday night doing our Ashtar Command Q&A, and she's going to be with us. She's walking back to our house first. Okay. Now, if she goes on the ship tonight and it happens during our broadcast, I'm not responsible for that. If she starts, if she goes off planet tonight, you will be here. It'll just be something will be here. But welcome to the show, everybody. Yes, Silver Blue. I was almost going to say I'm CmdrAleon's brother. I was going to say I'm CmdrAleon's twin brother, but I couldn't do that because then maybe if I did say that, AZ, thanks for being here. Welcome. If I said I was Aleon's brother, you might think I am the twin brother of Aleon. But I actually am Aleon, so I can't be the twin brother of Aleon. I almost said, you got your ears lowered. Thank you. Susie, you knew something was different. I tell you, I love the haircut. They did a great job. I just knew one thing. When the day comes that I go on the ship, I want to at least look presentable to my parents on the ship. So, at least if I have my hair cut, I'll look good. Yes, I'm wearing these glasses tonight. I thought this would be kind of interesting. Hope you like them. Yeah. That we don't talk about that other being. It doesn't exist anymore, Kimberly. I just let you know we were. That was just misdirected information. So we just forget about that. We're going to bring another person up. She's coming here from the planet. I'm a little bit late getting on tonight, so I want to
Hey,
welcome
I
her.
love the haircut. It was worth the wait. I love it. You look
Yes.
good tonight. He's like, yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi, and I this is my new hairdo. So when I go on the ship to meet my parents and my sisters and brother, I want them to know that I do look good with short hair.
It looks good. I like it.
And I'm wearing these glasses tonight just because I'm wearing them.
That's okay. I wear glasses
And
too.
so welcome to the show. It's really a late night, but the Aurora Borealis is happening, and tomorrow night we're going out again to look at it. It's the same part of the sun is reactivating this solar storm energy that's causing it, and it's evidently going to be around for a while. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Awesome.
I hear the ships are out tonight.
Oh yes. Oh yes. We have there is a ship that's parked down just behind the beehives down the mountain where my neighbor keeps bees at. There's been a ship down there, a pretty big ship actually, and it's been parked in the woods for about a week now. So we've been keeping our eye on him. And there's been beings like moving around in front of it.
Oh wow,
And then Bluey is still out there. We've named him Bluey. And
Bluey.
then Rod named as a smaller purple looking ship that's been hanging out with them. We call it we Rod named him Larry, so and he liked it.
Larry.
So yeah, Larry.
Oh,
So we
good.
got Bluey and Larry.
Bluey and Larry. That's a good thing. It's amazing what's happening. Are you able to come on the screen at all, or are you just indisposed, or what's going on?
I
Let me bring
actually
you.
just got in the door and my hands are frozen right now. But give me
Oh yeah, take your time. You give
yeah.
uh, don't rush. Just take your time, get settled. Hey Beth, thank you for the hat. And I was just telling people earlier that I was out in the garden, and my in our community garden, our director tilled my last row, and it was so beautiful not to have to try to dig into the soil. And I'm planting my 20 strawberry roots tomorrow, and also a blueberry plant and a few other vegetable plants in the last row. And my watermelon plants are coming up really nicely from seeds, so I was very excited.
Nice. I have
Yeah.
got now that we're talking about plants, I can tell you about mine. My my um pumpkins are coming in quite nicely. And I've got like I don't know, probably about 10 pumpkin plants that are coming
Wow.
down. Their leaves are getting pretty big. A lot of cilantro because, I like cilantro. I know most people don't like it, but I love it. We've got some sweet basil happening. We had some strawberry plants, but my granddaughter got little excited when they started coming in because she helped me plant them, and she thought that when they came in that she could eat them, so she ate them. Uh,
Oh,
she ate them just as they popped out. So
yeah.
so I don't have any strawberries yet this year.
Oh
But my
well.
granddaughter already enjoyed them before they made strawberries.
Oh, there you go. Say, hey, look, what are you gonna do? I've been picking strawberries, folks, in my micro farming light garden farming area, and so we have a good. I actually, this is an interesting story. I've been having a. Oh, I have a story to tell people. I was at a. We have a thing, a church bazaar in our town every year. It's a big. It goes for a whole week. So I was sitting with my wife, and we were in an area where you sit to eat your food outdoors. And all of a sudden, she tells me to turn around, and I see that these two women are fighting each other. I mean, there was a real. I mean, there was a fight going on, and you know, there are people that were watching it. Some young people hanging out. They were watching it. There are other people sitting there that were adults, and these two women are like going at it, and I'm like, I just decided there was already one or two people trying to separate them, but there wasn't enough people to separate them. I don't know what got into me. I got up, ran over, and I just was pushing this other woman with somebody else. We're trying to keep her separate from this other woman, and the other woman hit her.
Oh no.
And but the police were there for the police. Came running over. Well, they were there anyway. Helping people cross over. The street, and we got them separated. And then, my wife told me to pull me away from it. She didn't want me to get hurt or anything. And I wasn't just me. There were other people trying to separate these two women, and these two women were pretty strong. And so I ended up, sat down. And I said, I don't know. I said for some reason I had to go up over there and get involved in trying to separate these people from hurting each other. So I was like, I went over there and I tried to separate. I just like went into like this. Like I didn't even think once about it. I was like, why would what group of people stand there and like be, observing it and laughing and thinking it's funny? And so I went over there and got involved, and I forgot. I didn't care about. I didn't even think about who was there. I just said I'm going to do what I have to do to stop this to try to help. So I mean, and there were a few people, there was a number of us that had to separate both of these women. Somebody said something to somebody, and I've never had to do that before. I never did anything like that before. And then I sat down. My wife got me away from it and said, come here. And so I sat down. The police were really good, and they separated them. But that was a story I wanted to tell because that was like, you know, that I talk about if something's happening, would you just stand there and just watch it happen, or would you do something? And I think part of our light work, part of our mission work, part of our being who we are is to be the person that we say we are. So, whether it be, the Ashtar command taking negative ETs off the planet and stopping what they're doing, that's one thing. If you're on Earth and you're like at a big bazaar where they have rides and stuff for the kids, and there's a lot of family people there. This happens every year. It's like it goes on for a week in June, and all of a sudden this fight's going on. It got so bad that like a whole table was knocked over, and finally the police came and separated the women. Then I sat down with my wife, and people were watching, and it's just it's really important to realize that when these things happen, we're doing our mission work. Hey, we're doing our mission work here in our human form. In this case, I'm not like taking a negative ET and throwing it off planet. I'm separating two people that are human beings that are conflicting and getting violent with each other physically. And I just didn't even think about it. It's just like I had to go there and try to help to stop it. And that's really what unconditional love is. And that's what it was like not my intention to get involved. As soon as I looked over, something in me, something within me, I just got up. I wasn't even concerned about my own self. I just wanted to stop it. I didn't care about myself at that point. It was just like I'm in that mode where I have to stop it.
Sometimes you
I
have to
know
get
it's
involved, sometimes you
yeah,
really
you
have to
do.
get involved, and, that negative behavior really didn't need to happen, um,
No, it didn't.
so sometimes you
You
have to
know,
get involved, and sometimes, that kind of stuff happens, and,
yeah,
that's low vibrational behavior,
yeah, it is. But it relates to who we are as Ashtar Command people, as light workers, as Starseed. Is we have to be the same person we are off planet, as we have to be the same here as we are off planet, even though we don't have all the tools that we would have if we were traveling in a spaceship. We do have the tools to know better, and to show a better way to people that there's no need to hurt each other. To find out what's causing the conflict and be better for it. Hey, Beth, thank you. Be
right.
better. Be a better human being. Be a better person. And when the police got them calmed down, the girls that was really upset, she was smiling and laughing. The other woman was still kind of, she was separated with the other group of police, and eventually they escorted the woman off the site. But love frequency is what it's about. So when you do something like that, when you don't know you're going to do it, for me, it's all about love. It's all about unconditional love. It's about peace and harmony, and humans, uh, you know, getting together with each other and understanding each other. That's what our mission is. That's why we're here. And I just, would I do it again? Most definitely. If I saw, I mean, I wouldn't even think whatever they had. I wouldn't even think about it. I mean, I just would do it because you're not going to stand there and watch people hurt each other. That's not who we are, right?
No, that shouldn't be what we are. We should be about unconditional love, and, doing the next right thing is really important, and sometimes you have to get involved, and I'm glad that
Yeah.
you did that, but also, I'm surprised your wife didn't say something more to you.
No, no, it was no, she pulled me I don't even remember at the one point I just was like right there, and then she pulled me in like a minute or two later the police had the woman separated from the other one. But I'll tell you, the other woman was really trying to go at it, and then when the other woman, I think something incited it in words. I don't know exactly what was said, but to me it didn't matter. It's just sometimes we all have to remember we're here to do more than just talk the talk. We have to walk the walk, and it's easy to talk the talk, but if you don't walk the walk and do something, I mean, who knows? You can if you see a homeless person being mistreated, you're going to stand there and watch the mistreatment, or you're going to step in and stop it. And we have to step in and stop it. So what I'm saying is, be the light that you are. Be that spiritual being of light that you are. And when you see something, that's whether it be this kind of situation or a homeless person being bullied or whatever it is, we as light workers have to. We as people of spiritual light have to step in, and we have to say no. And if you're the only one that does that, out of 10 people watching what's going on, then be that one person. Be that light. Be that person that's gonna, change the way things are. Thank you, Riverblue. I appreciate that. You know,
Right.
yeah,
And,
that's my story.
we've been talking about this a lot, about, when contact happens and stuff, that, we all have to, remember that, we're probably going to go through a little rough patch, as things are transitioning over. And we've also been talking about, making sure that we are looking out for each other. When I met with Jesus, and he said that comment to me about, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, and then we take care of our family, and then we take care of our neighbors. I was trying, they always speak. Sometimes they speak, and I have to figure out like what they're talking about.
Right.
It makes sense later on, but at the time when they're telling me it, I'm like, oh. okay, it was like, that makes sense, but okay, what, why are you telling me this, you know?
That's
But
right.
now I'm understanding more as, you know, as time is going on, it's making more sense. You
Mm,
know, because there's gonna be some time of transition. And, you know, it's all about, you know, first because you know, we always have to take care of ourselves first, or we're not going to be good to the next person, right? And then we take care of our families next, and then we help our neighbors. You know, it's all about us helping each other, you know, and it's about,
mm,
you know, looking out for each other. After contact happens, you know, we are going to be going through a small rough patch. There's going to be transition. There's going to be, say there's children out there that are hungry. It's up to us to, you know, get rally together and make sure those children get fed. You know, say there's
mm,
elderly people that need help or going to need medicine or whatever the situation is. It's up to us as a community to step up to the plate and make sure that
mm-hmm.
we are keeping our vibrations high and helping these people. You know, and
Yes,
it's up to
absolutely.
each and every able-bodied person, you know. And even if you don't think you can do anything, everybody has a gift. Every single person has something that they can do. Everybody
Mm,
does. Even if it's just answering a phone, or if it's, you know, saying something nice to someone, or, you know, maybe watching those kids so that, you know, the other ones can go work and put the gardens
right.
together. You know, regardless of whatever it is, every single person has something that they can do to help, you
That's
know?
right. And that's exactly what the teachings of our space family have been. That's when we came to Earth, as we get downloaded and remember who we are growing up as adults, we are now here to walk the walk, so to speak.
Yeah.
When Jesus, our space brother Jesus, talks about things, he always talked about love. He always talked about harmony, about people getting along with each other. When he came to Earth from space, he was misunderstood and misinterpreted by people that were on Earth that didn't want to understand the truth of they understood what they created as their truth as human beings, and they created all their earth-based manifestations of religions. Where Jesus, when he came off the ship to Earth, he came here to teach people love. He said, let's get with the ticket here, and not everybody wanted to get with the ticket. They wanted to have their power, their governments, their religions, or whatever they wanted, and that perpetuation has happened for a long time,
He
and what it
talked about that. He talked about how, you know, people were getting it wrong, and, you know, it's like people started to worship him, and that's not what he wanted. He wanted
right.
to teach, he wanted to spread love. He wanted to teach people how to bring up their vibrations, you know, and everybody just twisted it up and made it into their own image. And that's, you know, religion did that, and that's he wasn't really happy about that.
No,
He
no,
wanted to teach people how to bring their vibrations up, how to spread love, how to help the neighbors, and, you know, and help ourselves at the same time. And he had such a great message of love to spread around, and that's why he traveled and did all he did. You know, it's crazy how people can, you know, twist things up into their own image
hmm
to for their own selfish gain, you know. And it's like that's not what we should be about. It really isn't.
no, no. And that's why when we, talk about this stuff and how Jesus, as we're talking about Jesus, he is always been the overseer in the councils of the command. He's been always the overseer of everything that goes on. And then there are different levels of the councils within the Ashtar command levels that do different things, but it's all connected and integrated into that level of light, you know. And Jesus, all these people that looked at Jesus as an idol, those people didn't understand who Jesus was or that he was from space. So as we're talking tonight in the Ashtar Q&A here, and we will answer your questions, it's really important to know the truth about Jesus, that he's not some religious icon for some church or temple, for people on earth to keep utilizing in the way they've been doing it, but he is actually the overseer of the Ashtar command, and he's been that overseer for a long time. And there are many different councils within the councils of light that exist. Um, that are currently here.
Right. And so I just am I echoing again?
No, you're not kidding. What happened to you went off camera?
Yeah, I did. But I just think that people had gotten things so wrong with him, and he said that that's one of the reasons why he left off planet is because he didn't want to be worshipped. That's not what he was here for. He was here to teach. Is essentially what he wanted to do. He wanted to teach, and the Ashtar command is really big on education and teaching people.
Yeah, and that's the thing when people when a space person comes to Earth and they look at him or her uh, with an idol type of mentality, then you lose the perception of who he is, and that's what happened. It's like if I were coming to Earth or April were any one of you were that person, and people say, "Oh, I'll come to Earth and try to help humanity understand, there's a better way of living than the way they're doing it," and then they start idolizing you, then it becomes not a point of teaching anybody about unconditional love because now they're idolizing you. And instead of understanding the message, they're now taking you as the symbol that you're taking you as they're looking at you as a statue instead of a human being from another planet that is of an enlightened message to help humanity. And that's not what Jesus was about, nor is he ever about that.
Yeah.
And there's been so much misunderstanding of the concepts of what he was teaching. When he did leave the earth, he left because, people were still looking at him as an idolized figure, not as someone that was spreading a message of love. They didn't understand the message.
That's what he said too. He was like, he wasn't happy with the way everything ended up, and but they are coming back now, and they want to come back and they want to teach us how to help ourselves. They want to teach us how to they're coming with technology, they're coming with this stuff to help us, but they're not just gonna give this. I mean, they are just giving it to us, but they're not
Yeah,
just coming with this stuff, but they're going to teach us how to build this stuff. They're going to teach us how to use this stuff. If it's a ship, they're going to teach us how to drive the ship.
right.
They're coming with teachings. And I think that that's pretty awesome because, you know, people that want to learn how to fly a ship will learn how to fly a ship. People that want to learn how to grow these enormous tomatoes will learn how to grow these
Yeah,
enormous tomatoes. They have this technology and this knowledge that they want to share with us. This is stuff, guys, that we should have had a long time ago. It really is.
yeah.
We are now ready for this. We are ready for this. So
And the thing is, this IMKC, just to correct your praise of Jesus, he did not hang on a cross. That's so much misinformation that you've been given from however you got it. A lot of people, it's not your fault. There's no fault here. The information you have of Jesus hanging on crosses or having nails in the wood, that's all part of perception of fear about who Jesus was. He was not a person that was hanging on a cross. He actually left the planet because there were the pharaohs and these other people in that historical time period that were elders that had a lot of power, and he was a threat to their earth-based power because he was teaching people not to follow these other people and become religious. He was telling people to follow their hearts and become love, and people were being conflicted by following your hearts and become love, and these elderly people that held the power and taxed all their communities and took all their money because they wanted people to live in fear. And these are all earth-based religions back then, and even earth-based religions currently on Earth do the same thing, just in a different way. So, Jesus did not hang on a cross, and Jesus is not hanging on a cross, and Jesus is alive and well on a spaceship. I know that's going to blow some people's minds, but that's what the commander does. We bust the matrix and we share the truth. And even what April's saying, she has met him on the ship a couple of times, and he's way different than people who are religious have been taught to believe Jesus is.
yeah.
So if you get out of your religious time frame or your religious belief systems, you're going to understand that Jesus is a beautiful being of light, a space being, and he does not want to be idolized or worshipped. He is a space being, and if he were going to hang out with us, we go out for pizza. He would not want to be having people running around taking pictures of him like the paparazzi or something.
No.
He'd want to sit there and just be a normal person, having a nice pizza pie, and being a part of a community of people. And so just, you have to know that Jesus is not what is the perceptions of Jesus are totally inaccurate on planet Earth. They just are.
Jesus is so laid back, guys. I mean, when I first met him, I was so nervous. I was standing with my arms to my side and I was like standing at attention. I didn't know how to stand, where to put my hands. I didn't know. I was so nervous, guys. And he came up and he gave me a bro hug. And if you don't know what a bro hug, it's one of those, one of those. He like came up and he did the whole like pound on my back thing and he said hi to me, but I was like really thrown back by the bro hug. But he's funny, guys. He really is funny. But and he's very down to earth. When I had a conversation with him, yes, he's philosophical and all that stuff, but he's like talking to your little brother. He's very, very down to earth, very easy to talk to, and easy to get along with, and he's funny, guys. He's really funny. He's got these like little snide jokes he puts in there. I really enjoyed spending time with him. I really did.
Yeah, and when April saw Jesus, I can guarantee you he wasn't standing there suffering with a cross with nails in his hands. He was, he would say, "Hey, April, can you get me off of this thing? It's been wearing for over 2,000 years. I'm tired of wearing it. People think I wear one of these things, and I just got. Can you help me, April, pull this off? Or can you tell your dad to help me over here? Maybe your mom can help pull the other nail out of the imaginary nail out of my palm of my hand or something. Will you help me? So the thing is, that's the perception people on earth who are religious have of Jesus. And so we're here to bust the matrix and tell you that Jesus is totally different than what earth-based religions keep pushing, you know, and we're telling you is the truth. And it's going to be fun when the time comes when the five of us go together on the ship and get to meet Jesus. I'm sure we'll have some jokes that we can share with each other, and it's going to be that kind of a relationship because I don't look at Jesus any different than I look at any of you or April or anything. I look at him as another loving person that came onto Earth to do mission work as a star seed, and then left the planet after he tried to do what he tried to do, and left it up to people to learn from it. But a lot of people didn't learn from it. They ended up creating religions on Earth, and instead of doing the work and living the life of those teachings of light, they ended up doing completely opposite things. You know, so it's important to know that.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. Um, but yeah, so when I was talking to him, he's talked a lot about about us being able to heighten our vibrations, guys. It was really important to him, that he made the point across to talk about us helping each other and us coming together as a community. He also talked about one of the big messages that he had passed on to me to pass to you guys was that there's no higher vibration than love. And, at the time I was like, well, yeah, it was like in the back of my head, I'm going like, duh, obviously not. You know, um, as time has been going on, I am, it's like I know this stuff, but I am starting to feel it more and more as time is going on. Like, it's so important that we be selfless, guys, and we, share ourselves with each other and with our community. And guys, we start doing the next right thing like the commander did,
Mm.
and that was stepping up and helping these two women separate, and stop the argument from happening because, stuff like that, guys, that's low vibrational behavior, and
Yeah,
arguments like that don't need to happen. The
no,
women could have simply walked away from each other, but that didn't happen, and
no.
and people like the commander had
And
to step in and try to get them separated, and that's not okay. That kind of behavior is,
right.
that stuff doesn't need to happen. Um,
Carrie 79 has a question. Carrie, I do see you. Please answer. Can you give me the question, Carrie? Good to see you, Carrie. What's the question? I'm going to go scroll down. Carrie, what is the question? And April and I will try to answer the question. Let's see here. Yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you. That's coming to Jersey for Life. Um, let's see here, Carrie. And Hootenanny, Rhonda Hootenanny, we'll get to your question about the vibrational thing. Carrie 79, just wondering why hasn't the ship stopped by for bounce? What does that mean? Carrie, what does for bounce mean? I don't understand that. Once wondering why hasn't the ship stopped by for bounce? Let's see here.
I think she said the ship has come like 20 times for me, but haven't they stopped by? I'm not exactly sure what the question is.
Oh, for once, I think she meant. Let me throw it back up. By just wondering why why hasn't the ship stopped by for once? Is that what you mean instead of for bounce? Let me see if I can understand the question. I
Oh,
love.
okay. I think I get what they're asking. They're asking why hasn't the ship come by to pick you up?
I'll pick me up.
Because they have in the groups of five that they have one person that they do contact with, and that person brings the information back to the other five. That's the way these guys choose to do this.
Yeah,
I am that
yeah.
contact person.
Just so you know, that's exactly how it is. So let's say they were picking me up, and I was in Vermont or Connecticut or whatever, and then April found out about me, and then I met Johnny and Kit Kat and Chesno, and I was the one going on the ship. It's just that's the way our space family, they know what they're doing, so they have figured this is the way they want to do it. All we're doing is just peacefully going along with the galactic plan, and none of us has any ego or jealousy about who is first or who's last, because that means nothing. We just all know that probably within the next 12 months, we will the four of the rest of us will be going on the ship when April goes on. We'll at one point be starting to be all together, and they have it all figured out. They know what they're doing, and we just have to trust in the galactic plan. And I do trust in the plan, and I have no jealousy or ego that I didn't go, 25 times. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do now, which is my programming on radio and this and my light work, and I'm very confident in what's going on, and I feel very humble in the fact that it's happening. I feel very humble that the other night, and I'm thanking Alicia. She actually took the audio from the other night when my sister visited me, and she enhanced the audio. So I'm going to listen to it. She sent me an email, and once I listen to it, I'll play the audio, or have Alicia play it. I'm going to play it on here so you can hear my sister's voice, because I heard it loud and clear when I was talking, but I couldn't make out everything because I was talking, and at the same time she was saying something to me. And so that was, now for me, that was something brand new for me, that my sister came through a rift somewhere in my house. I'm thinking she might have been in my crystal room and spoke from there, because the other night I checked my daughter, who's she's up in Boston right now, but and my wife was sleeping. I told my wife this morning what happened. I explained to her what happened, that I heard this woman's voice speak to me, and I told her exactly what happened. It was my sister. I am very transparent about my wife about what's going on, and she came to visit me with a warning, and she felt it was important enough that she was going to come through and tell me. And this is the kind of things, that yes, they can open a rift and they could come in here, but it's not time yet for that to occur. She took a step to help me by letting me know something that I didn't know was going on. And that's how our family works. It's like if it was April or me or Chesno or any of them, if something that important is going to affect us, they want to protect us because we have a mission to do. And, that's what she was doing. She was protecting me by telling me what was going on. And I'll be able to listen to the audio and see exactly what she said. So yeah, it's just so you know, there's no jealousy of any of us. Like I said, if it was me going
No,
first,
there
I
isn't
know
any
April
jealousy. We
April would
all
not be jealous at all. There's no jealousy in April's mind. My mind is very much without ego. I'm just we're doing what we're supposed to do, and it's a beautiful thing to be going through this experience. And eventually, all of you, at some point down the road, so to speak, will eventually have contact. And I think I've been trying to teach people. They're asking me how people would say to me, Commander, how to make contact the star family. It really starts with inner reflection, inner guidance from within you, not from the mind here. It has to come from the heart. And I'm not talking about the physical heart, but the cosmic spiritual heart. And if you learn how to connect to that part of you, you can ask for your star family through doing Christ in meditation. They are out there, and everybody has a star family. Everybody has a biological cosmic family. You just don't know it yet. The fact that we already connected with our family doesn't mean you're not going to connect with your family. There should be no there's no competition of whose family is connected with whose family first. It's about they know where we are and they are contacting us. It's time for that to happen. So they are contacting us, and we are humbly in service as we should be to the mission. And
she's
that's the only thing that's important.
she's saying that she doesn't think jealousy. She was just thinking for healing for specific
Oh,
reasons.
healing. Oh,
Um,
okay. Uh,
so it's like far as me being sick, and the stuff, physical stuff that I've been going through and my human stuff, that's because they can't interfere with our human experience. They're not supposed to interfere with it. I'm going through what I'm going through for whatever reason. I may not know the reasons right now, but I will later
mm,
on.
mm,
They can't interfere with whatever human experience it is that I'm going through right now.
right.
Just like with the commander with his back
Yeah.
as well,
Oh,
like
yeah. Well,
his
it's
back.
not my back. It's not even my back. It's my knee. And there are days when it's good. And because of the downloads, it's been better. There are some days when my knee still hurts. And I understand that I don't stop walking and stop doing my things or my garden or going to work. I, 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 I do it. I walk. I have to walk. If I don't do it, I'm going to be fixated on the days when it hurts a little bit. But I know that I have to keep walking.
Guess what I got for you?
What's
I just
that?
thought about that right now.
Okay.
I don't know why I completely brain farted this. I meant to tell you this earlier. I got honey from you from the beehive that the Ashtar command goes and collects honey from. My neighbor
Yes.
brought me down there and showed me how he gets the honey from the hive itself. So he went and collected up some honey for me to bring down for you guys.
Oh, great.
Talking about
That'd
my
be
brother,
great.
and I was like, "Oh, I said I just got maple syrup from my lady friend that does the
Oh, wow.
up here, and so she jarred me up some real pretty little jars for you guys so I could bring it
Oh,
down for
great.
you." And he's like, "Go get your containers," and I was like, "Go get my container." He goes, "Good." He meant my cream cheese containers. He's like, "Go get your containers," because I always save the empty ones to reuse them for other things, because
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Go get your containers," because he talks country. He's like, "Go get them," and I was like, "Oh." I was like, okay, so what am I doing with my containers? Go get your containers. He says, all right. So I went and I grabbed some and brought him down, and he goes in there and he puts the smoke on, and he doesn't wear anything. He just goes and handles these bees. Like they know him, they're familiar with him. So he
Yeah,
pulls
they are.
these things out and he's just dripping honey into these containers. And
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
awesome. This is like real good. This is real good honey too. You're gonna enjoy it.
Really? Oh, I
Mhm.
can't. I can't wait. I know my wife will like, we low like, my daughter likes honey. And, it's just, I'll be, when you come down, we'll, definitely be happy to take the honey for sure. Sounds great.
I got some for
You know,
Kick. I got some for all of you guys.
Oh, good, good, good. It's just a beautiful thing to be here. We're doing this Saturday nights, which is really good that we switched it to Saturday night. It makes it more relaxing, less stressful for everybody, and it's just a beautiful thing to thank you for the heart me that we are able to teach you things here that you're not going to learn on other places on social media. because we actually are sharing real things. April can say now that she's been on the ship 26 or 25.
25.
25 times since I've known her. And, like I said, every time is a new experience. Everything that's gone, all of us have been through trials and tribulations. It's not been easy realizing all the things that we're learning to do on many levels. We're downloaded all the time. I get downloads all the time, and if I look at the person I was when I first came on here and I thought I knew what I knew then, that was like nothing compared to what I know now, what the downloads I have
They
now.
actually Astro projected Johnny up like 6 different times. Um,
Wow, you see?
yeah, so he's been up like 6 different times, getting, giving his, father advice, because they were treating, some space people that got negatively affected by the,
The
um,
radiation.
radiation, yeah, from the fallout from the testing that they were doing in the ocean's waters, and made a lot of beings sick. And so they've been treating these beings, and trying to get them better. And if you don't know, Johnny is their like top doctor up there, or healer they call him.
Yeah.
He's their top healer up there, and so they were seeking his advice, so they brought him up, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. And Johnny must have been feeling very humble about the fact that they brought him up to help do some healing work. And, that's the thing. That's just a gentle way of having Johnny know that, when the big time comes that we all physically go through a rift to go on, he's now more prepared mentally for it because he's been there 6 times in
Yeah,
that projection,
yeah,
you know?
and it'll
So
be
that's that.
familiar to him, and he'll, yeah. I'm just really happy that he got to spend some time with his dad up there, because yeah, his dad.
Someone said, Sharon's saying, Commander, new haircut, mighty fine, Tahar. I'll never hear the end of my haircut now, folks. And this is what I look like without my glasses on. Just to let you know, not to get not there's no big head here. Just if you want to see me look like this, you know. And then when I sing a song for you, I am going to sing an Elvis song at this place locally that's well known called the King of Roast Beef, Vinny's. He's giving away free roast beef sandwiches, and they're really good. For if you do not a Tahar song, if you do a 30-second song by Elvis, and I'm learning how to do this one song I want to do that's not rock. It's more of like a ballad. Love Me Tender, Love Me Do. I think that's the song. And I'm going to do the lyrics and do 30 seconds of Elvis because I'm able to listen to sounds of people. I used to do impressions of actors and stuff like that when I was growing up, or people, and I used to love just trying to do impressions. But I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, oh, how big are the ships?
They
Octave.
they are all different sizes. The working ship that I'm command on is huge. It is huge. They have all different size ships. The weather ships are, they shape shift, so it's hard to like. I guess I would say probably about the size of 4 homes, but it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
hard to
different.
describe this because the inside of the ships are not the same as they are on the outside. They're bigger on the inside than they are on the outside because they don't see, time and space the same way we do. So the outside of the ship could look, like the size of like a car, but when you get on the inside, it looks like the size of like a humongous mansion in there, like with rooms and rooms and rooms. It's different on the inside of the ships than they look on the outside.
Yeah, and that's the perception of reality. So, for example, you can see, uh, if you were having a flying saucer craft that looked like the size of 2 cars, and you were taken in that flying saucer craft or that spaceship, the perception of reality on the outside was, oh, that's how big it is. But then when you go on the inside of the ship, it's 10 times bigger than the perception of your visual aspect from the outside of the ship. So sometimes our visual understanding and concept of the ship being that's how small it is. When you get in the ship, it's very big. So it's basically taking that perception of what you think and experiencing the physical reality of the inside of the spaceship, they are a lot bigger than they might appear to be. Uh, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Shelly Stardust. I appreciate that. John Rod says Johnny's a beautiful person, and he sure is. Um, Jenny Barber says hi, sweetheart, and thank you, River Blues, for the hat. Tahar. Um, we love you, Commander. Thank you, Sharon, and we love you too. And Jersey for Life, you lost your train of thought. That can happen. Um, yeah, I sometimes will lose the train of thought
Well,
and go into another train.
it is 1:30 in the morning, Commander.
Oh, I
Commander,
didn't know. I didn't know.
Commander,
I thought it was. I thought I was in a tahar state of consciousness, so I forgot what time it was.
it's because you're part of the Tahar command.
Yeah, I am part of the tahar command. Uh, yes. And also, let's see. Life, a monster something. I don't know what that means. Life, a TARDIS, like a TARDIS. I'm not sure, like a TARDIS. So what's that mean? You lost your train of thought. Okay, wow. Okay, let's see. Yes, I'm
Yes,
just reading
Sharon.
random comments. It's like the TARDIS on Doctor Who. That's coming from Papa Smurf. You're welcome. Thank you, Stardust. I'm trying to catch up with these comments. Any new Bigfoot contacts, Sharon?
Yes, there has been. I went up last night to give them my list. But yes, there was last night. I met with the elder female Bigfoot.
And what was that like for in terms of that question? Let's take it a little bit further. How was that interaction, April?
Oh, it was great. She's very nice. She is very worldly, very wise. And as far as she's so nice. She really is. She's like if you could imagine a Bigfoot being everybody's grandma, that's what she's like. She's very,
Hmm.
very wise and everything she says, and she's very well spoken. I really like spending time with her a lot. She's got a lot of advice to give, but she came for a specific list from me, and I gave it to her last night. So.
Yeah, interesting. Sharon's saying they're excellent healers to Bigfoot.
They are amazing healers. They are fantastic beings. They really truly are. They have been quietly, if you guys don't know this, the Ashtar Command and the good beings of light have been working with the Bigfoot beings and alongside of them, the Bigfoots have been working. Sorry, my dog have been working alongside of the Ashtar Command for a very long time. They they've been helping the Ashtar Command with opening up portals. They are in charge of the portals here on our planet, and they open those portals so the dimensional ships can come through. The ones that are coming here to help us, the Bigfoot beings have been the ones opening those portals so these ships can make it through, and they have been helping us, quietly for a very long time, and they when big contact happens, the Bigfoot beings are coming right along with the good ETs when they get here. When the good space beings come, the Bigfoots are coming out too. Just
Yeah.
so people are aware of this.
Now Sharon's saying, "How can I help their work?" She's asking how she can help the Bigfoot's work.
You can do just be kind to them when contact happens, because they're coming along with the good space beings, and it's really important that we're not afraid of these beings, because a lot of people, because of their size, are afraid of them, and there's no reason to be afraid of them. The Bigfoots have never attacked a human. It's always them running from human beings. These beings have been here quietly helping us, and we just didn't know. We really didn't know. I mean, I knew, but you guys didn't know. You know,
Thank you, Tricia.
they but how you can help would be like after contact does happen, maybe go up to one and befriend one of them, because these beings are really, really nice, and they're actually very well spoken, and they're very intelligent. They're my one of my best friends is a Bigfoot. His name is Pumpkin, and he's my best friend. And he's funny, and he's kind, and he's been out here. Him and his family have been out here protecting my family for a long time, guys. These guys have been here quietly helping us this whole time, and we didn't even know, And we've done nothing but repay them by hunting them and doing
Yeah.
cool things to them.
Yeah.
And it's just not right. But maybe when contact does happen, guys, that you guys can go up and maybe hug a Bigfoot, or shake one of their hands
Oh,
and
thank you.
maybe say thank you. That would be a
Yeah.
good thing for them, because they've gone very unappreciated for a very long time.
Too long. And also, Sharon says a follow up question: do you think we can be starseeds, Sasquatch, or maybe a hybrid of sorts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Bigfoot beings, I mean, I haven't heard of them taking on like any human wives. I don't know that I know of. I don't know. But I can tell you that they were brought here a long time ago by the negative ETs, and I can tell you that the Ashtar Command rescued them from these negative ETs, and they didn't want to go back to that planet. Trust me, they didn't. They loved Earth so much that they wanted to stay here, so they did, and they've been here for a really long time. I mean, is it possible that Bigfoot and a human being fall in love? Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah, it
why
could
not?
be.
They're wonderful beings. So there's,
I would say it's very
anything can
possible, like
happen.
April saying, why
Mhm.
not? If there's true love, why not? Right?
Exactly.
And that's the main thing. So that's a great question, Sharon. Thank you for that question. You're watching Ashtar Command Q&A. April and myself are answering your questions. Karen 82 Tahar. Yeah, so we're answering your questions. If you have any related to understanding the command better, or understanding what's going to happen with contact, we can very much answer your questions. April has been on the ship 25 times, and with various things to bring back with information. And I myself have been working in my adult life with the command extensively for a lot of years. And of course, I'm not the same person I was when I came on TikTok, uh, and I use that as a background. Even though I've been working with the command before I came to TikTok, now I am much more downloaded on information, and I have some abilities that I didn't even know I had before I came on TikTok. Like the
Paranormal
things.
Ghostbusters has a question.
Okay, let's see where. Let me go try to follow up. Thank you, Karen 82. That's for Friends and Fairies. That's for you.
Thank you, Karen.
Um, uh, Shelley Star says they're multidimensional. Yes.
Yes.
Paranormal, go ahead. Can I ask a question? But no one replied back. Paranormal, go ahead with your question. What's your question? Let's see here. Let me see here. No, they're not dangerous, Matthew. The Bigfoot are not dangerous. Humans have hunted them down, and that was the danger. Was the humans that hunted the Bigfoot? Bigfoots were never dangerous. They were attacked, but they were never dangerous. Paranormal. Go ahead with your question. Let's see here. Where's your question?
No, Johnny didn't go with me. He was astral projected up by his father. His father told me that. He was actually astral projected up like 5 or 6 times, his father had said.
And our friend Brandon's on it. Brandon says, I have 1,000 acres of woods behind my house or more. I hear them calling to each other, or talk, which is essentially they're talking to each other.
Yeah, we actually
Interesting.
got to hear him on one of my lives. We could hear him. Pumpkin was out there, and he was out there banging around in the trees, letting me know he was out there before he popped out, and was standing with us out there, and he was right next to my lilac tree. We couldn't see him because it was dark out there, but he was definitely out there knocking in the woods. Everybody heard him in the live. You could hear him banging on a tree out there.
And Karen 82 says, does Johnny remember being projected up?
Yes.
So
Yes, he
yeah, he
does.
does, Karen. He does remember. Yeah,
We just had a conversation about this the other day. Yes, he does. He's had a
and
lot of
that's a
that.
and that's a beautiful thing that Johnny now is remembering everything, which he should, because he's now being projected in that way. Tahar, Sharon, Tahar. He's being projected in that way. So it's just, and it's a good way to prepare Johnny. And then like for me, my sister visiting me through a rift the other night, that was something different. That was like, that was totally different.
Yeah, but you've had
uh
you've had other visits too through your rift down in your part of the world over there. You've had beings come through over there a few times.
yeah, I mean, I just didn't, there are times I do my live, I'm very quiet about it. I would theme to hear somebody walking in the crystal room.
Hmm.
But I would never go really. I would maybe sometimes just sit here and say, everyone's sleeping. I wouldn't say anything, but you would know. I mean, I just would just act like it's a normal show.
You can hear them walking around, guys. You can. They think they're
On my,
pretty, sneaky, but they're not
yeah,
that sneaky. They're kind of heavy-footed. You can hear them
yeah,
walking around.
yeah. Then when people are sleeping at this time of night, if there's walking around, then I know then I know they're walking around. Most times they're pretty respectful of not being really too noisy. They're probably hanging out, they're cloaked, they're hanging out watching my broadcast with me, probably in the living room. And we got a car that's hamped up going by, but,
Yes, Brandon.
so,
I'm sorry, I was
but
interrupting.
Brandon, they are telepathic.
They can speak
And
as well. They prefer telepathic speaking, but they're very well spoken. They actually speak several different languages. That's including space language as well. But
yeah,
yes, they can telepathically speak.
and that's the thing about the Sasquatch is, are the perceptions of the documentaries have all been misinformation documentaries, because all the documentaries they ever do on Discovery, Travel, History Channel, when they talk about the Bigfoot, these scientists this is a group of scientists that go out and knock on trees, and try to get the Bigfoot to react. And they said, "Did you hear that noise?" So, they're trying to make a yelling noise to the Bigfoot, but only if they knew and were to learn that the Bigfoot can speak English, that they understand language, but they also do that because of the nature of human beings that they've encountered.
Yeah.
That's just to keep the humans away from them, and to kind of be afraid of them, when just to protect their own civilization of people or beings that they are, their families, you know.
Yeah. Yes, and that's why you always hear about Bigfoots running away from people. You never hear about them like running at people. And that smell that people often report smelling, like they call them skunk apes and all this other stuff. I mean they do sometimes smell like wet dog a little bit, but that overwhelming odor that people report smelling, that's a defense mechanism that they have. Almost like a skunk, they can spray a really foul odor. Um, and that's to deter people from entering around spaces that they don't like, if it's protecting their families that they feel like they need to
Hmm.
protect. Because, let's face it, guys, we're always out there doing stuff that we're not supposed to be doing, like hunting them down. And, if they think that their families are in harm's way, they will, put out an odor. Because let's face it, we're not going to go running to a stink. We're going to run away from a stink.
Yeah, we are. And and Shelley says the more we live from our hearts with love to all, the better chance of having an encounter. And that's really true.
Exactly.
Very
That
well
is
said,
true.
Shelley. Very well said. And it's just if you it's I said this one show used to be on, I think, Travel Channel, of these bunch of yahoos, like they were wearing camouflage outfits, and I know what they were, now whether they were, their stuff was real or not, they were out there trying to capture Bigfoots. They were in, I think, South Carolina in the mountains or somewhere. And so, at one point, I remember one of these things, I'd watched it. I said, well, let's see what's going on with these Yahoos. And they supposedly captured the Bigfoot in a wooden thing. And it broke out of the wood thing, and they were like, they carried their blank with them, and they were like hunters, and or at least that's their portrayal of their show was to be hunters, and they were, trying to capture the Bigfoots. And I said, why would you have a show on TV promoting that? What's the point of that? What is the reasoning behind doing a show like that? It's all sensationalism. It has nothing to do with the truth of the Bigfoot. And River Boo has a question. River Boo, we'll get to your question too. Yeah, it's just this is what the media does when they do shows about Bigfoot. It's always these things like the sensationalized series that this was on about 5 or 6 years ago, and these guys would go out there and they were trying to capture Bigfoot. It gives the perception that they, you know, well, we're going to capture the Bigfoot, and here's their, and they showed their, like, these looked like the Bigfoot put together these wood things that look like a teepee, and they said, well, we're going to capture them. We're gonna get them. You hear, and they hear the sounds of these Bigfoots talking to each other, and these guys were freaking out. At least, and maybe they were. It was all prescribed for them to do it on their program on this series that used to be on. I always didn't like the series because it was giving a misrepresentation of the Sasquatch and the whole cultural aspect of who the Sasquatch were. These shows to me should have never been produced because they didn't represent the truth.
Yeah, and a lot of the Native Americans around the world, they actually are very close with the Bigfoots. They have kept their secrets for a very long time, which I'm so happy for because if a lot of people don't know this, but they had a lot of interaction with our Native Americans. They really have.
Mm.
And the Native Americans have worked closely with the Bigfoots for a really, really long time, and they have been protecting them and protecting their secrets. And guys, this is an actual one of their nests. That's what's behind me right now. This is in my woods. I have
Yeah,
several of these nests. Uh,
and that's the crisscrossing of the wood, where they intricately put the wood together in a certain way. You can see how it's not like just randomly put together.
these
They
are
know
huge
exactly.
logs too, guys.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. I think who had a question? I think our friend River Blue had a question. River, I don't see your question.
I know.
Can you repeat?
Sometimes TikTok it pushes questions out of the way. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, yeah. Just to let you know, thank you, Jordan. My haircut, thank you. Um, that our space family is watching the show. For people that don't know, they monitor the show. They monitor when April's on, when I'm on. They monitor the show. They have monitoring systems on the ship, so they're watching the program right now and hearing, and they can see all your questions and all the interaction. It was just about Shelley's. It was just about Shelley's question. Oh, it's Shelley's question. Let's go back to Shelley's question. What question was that? Uh, I'm going backwards here. Oh, okay. Shelley actually said, must live from the heart and not the mind. Overcome fear, just love all. I think that's what River Blue you were talking about. Kevin Patty has a story. Where's Kevin Patty? Kevin Patty said something here that was interesting, and let me go backwards. Kevin Patty says, I didn't find Bigfoot, but Bigfoot found me at 10,000 feet elevation in the Wind River Mountains of Wyoming. Oh, interesting, Kevin.
There, if people knew how many Bigfoots were out there, they'd probably move. There is a lot of Bigfoots out there, and these guys are so good at hiding. They most of the time just don't want to be bothered by human beings. Not until we're ready. Not until we're ready to accept them. Guys, these
Hmm.
guys have been here for a really long time, and they've been doing nothing but helping our planet and helping us. And And we've been cruel to them, and it's just it's not fair. They love us and they love our planet, and they've been here quietly helping us, and we've repaid them by hunting them down. And people think that they disappear quickly and that they'll never capture them. Like I mean, the government has gotten their hands on a few of them, but and I don't know how they did that. But for the most part, it's really hard to get one of these guys because they not only can they shapeshift, but they can skip walk, and so they can move through, and only through short bursts can they do this, but they can like be behind a tree one minute and then like across the forest the next second, and it's because they
Yeah.
skip walk. They've learned how to move through period, or through short spaces. They can move through time and space very quickly, and they
Mm.
can also shrink down in size. A lot of people don't know this about them.
Yeah, see? The shrink thing. Now, also, Matthew says, not sure why, but we see Bigfoot more than any other state here in Washington. And another thing, it's Jeannie Jones. Do they hide in caves?
Yes. They live in caves, actually. They live in caves, they hide in caves, they live in nests. They live all over the place, guys. They live in mountains, they're everywhere. They're everywhere across our planet, guys.
Mm. And let's see here. Jen A.I. Lee. Since I was a little girl, I called it portal. That's weird. Uh, since I was a little girl, I called it portal jumping.
Yeah. And they also jump through portals too. That's like they'll get see how these right here make this like little A right here. They'll do that on certain trees that hold a lot of energy to them. They'll lean like pieces of wood against it, and they know how to open portals, guys, because these guys are basically our planet's portal keepers. And they do this like for the ships and stuff, but they can create small portals for them to travel through as well. So they'll do this against a tree that has a lot of energy behind it, and they have these set up all through the woods. They um preset these up, so in case they have to have a quick escape route from somebody trying to hunt them or whatever, they have a place to escape to. If they can't get to one of those, they can do a skip walk, and if not that, then they'll shrink
Jordan says, but why have we never found a body like a dead one?
because they bury their dead
Yeah, yeah,
like we do.
yeah. That would be a good reason why. Let's see here, and we have another question. I think, are they? Oh, Jordan says, are they eternal?
What do you mean internal?
Can you explain, Jordan, what you mean by eternal? What do you mean by the word internal? Eternal? Are they eternal? Can you explain that better?
Are you asking if they live forever? They don't
Let's
live.
see
If
here.
that's what your question is, they don't live forever. They live for a very long time, but they don't live forever. They do get old.
Uh, yeah, Matthew's saying they can become invisible too. Yes, they absolutely can become invisible.
Well, not so much
Jordan's saying,
turn their fur to like the color of the
yeah,
trees and stuff.
yeah, like blend in. And
Hmm.
Jordan's saying, like, do they live forever or how long? So I think that's what it was, April. Uh,
They can live for hundreds and hundreds of years. Yes. They like the space beings. They don't see time and space the same way we do. I'm trying to find
right.
one picture because I
And Chrissy's saying they never die. In a sense, really, nobody ever dies, including, in a sense, even the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch. They live to be for a long time. And then, in sense of when they do leave their body, just like a human being ascends into the next body, the Sasquatch will ascend into the next body as well. Oh, mean everlasting. Yeah, do they? Is it everlasting? For the Bigfoot, I would say the same thing would apply to the Bigfoot as it would be to our space family in terms of how life exists and how people um, become. Again, it's really ascending from one level of physical bodiness to another physical body in another state of consciousness. So in a sense, that's why for a long time I've taught people that there is no real thing as death. That's just basically a word. There is the leaving of the physical body from the time you outlast that body, and then you go into the next physical body, which is your next level of consciousness. So yeah, let's see here. Yes, Jersey for life. They can camouflage, as April was saying. They can camouflage in the wood, and you would never know they were there. They can camouflage with
Yeah, they're
a bunch of trees or
cool.
leaves or flowers. Yeah,
I'm trying to find this one I just got recently of pumpkin over there sneaking around in my raspberry.
sneaking around.
Yeah,
Chen AI Lee says they have different races just like humans. Oh yeah, look at that.
that's pumpkin. I was taking a video of the raspberry bushes that they were starting to
Mm-hmm.
fill in really nicely. And I'm looking back and I'm like, this little turkey, he went in here and he got into my shots and he was in there watching me. But there he is right there, guys.
Oh
There's
yeah, you can see his mouth, his nose, his eyes. He's looking right at the camera.
Yep.
He says, you're not leaving me out of this picture.
No, he photo bombed me. He's such
He said, "Hey, you're famous. I want to be famous too. I'm Pumpkin." I living water. Thank you, Rod. Thank you. Let's see here. Living says, I thought Berkeley did a DNA test and they were hybrid. You in Berkeley, California? I've not heard of that. Anything like that about them testing the DNA of a Bigfoot.
Bigfoot beings were actually created off planet by the Zetas off of their home planet and basically made them to be slaves. And the Bigfoots were, forced to do things that they didn't want to be doing. And when they brought them here to our planet to do manual labor for them, they, I guess word got out and it got to the Ashtar command that these beings were being forced to do all this manual labor and being abused by the Zetas. And the Ashtar Command came and freed them.
Jeannie Jones says Army found giant ones in Afghanistan. I have not heard about that story. Gina, can you tell us where that source of the story is? Being a news person that was trained in news directing, so where did that happen in Afghanistan? Where was that story found?
I
That they
think
found
it might be about the giants that they found there. Those weren't Sasquatches; those were actual giants.
oh, giants. Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Giants
Oh,
aren't.
found giant ones. Yeah, giants would not be the Bigfoot. That the giants are the giants that are human, that are way bigger than the average human being.
Yeah.
Brandon says the ones around me seem. I think it's Viscous. What's that word? Vicus, vicus, viscous. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not.
Oh, vicious.
Not you say they seem vicious. Is that what you're saying? Vicious, Viscous. Matthew says some are black and some are reddish brown in
There
terms
are
of
many
that.
different colors. There really are.
Yeah,
There are white ones. There are gray ones, and there are even ones that that are they're ocean water Bigfoot as well. They look like the color of seaweed. Their fur does.
okay.
But the
Octave. Go ahead.
there are just many different colors of them. We call them different things across the world. Yetis, the skunk ape, the Sasquatch, Bigfoot. There's so many different names out there that
And
they.
even like the abominable snowman is one in the Himalayas.
Yep, yep. They call them different things, guys, and their fur is adaptable to their whatever their environment is.
Yeah.
They're all over the place, guys.
Octave says one word came after the dream, Locken. I'm not sure what the dream was. Matthew, I saw both female and male. Let's see, was black.
You're
I
very
think
lucky.
Chrissy says.
Females are
Uh,
hard to find. There's very few female Bigfoot. There are more males than there are females, and females are
yeah.
highly regarded.
Yeah. And then Gene Jones says Army found giant in Afghanistan was 10 foot tall. I believe it was Sasquatch.
Hmm.
And it's probably a 10 foot tall Sasquatch. Yes, there could be a 10 foot tall Sasquatch. Sasquatch, I mean.
Yeah, they are
Uh,
shapeshifters.
okay. In Afghanistan, Jordan says they call them jinns. So see, people live in Afghanistan see a Sasquatch, they call it a jinn.
Hmm.
I've never heard that, but that's
Never
interesting.
heard that either. I thought jinns were considered evil spirit out there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
this Sasquatch is definitely not evil. The most indigenous
no,
people do know this. They just don't, they keep their secrets. But Commander, I
yeah,
got time for like one more question, and then I got to head because I am very tired. It's like two
yeah. No,
o'clock.
as long as you're not going on the ship for the 26th time, you get some sleep.
Really.
so, so we're going to be doing this, folks, on Saturday nights at 11. I was late tonight, so I do apologize for being late on my show. We'll take one more question, and then I'm also going to sign out here. It's after 2, and we'll take. Let's see. Erin has a question. Why are they trying to hide from us so bad? Let's see here. That's
because
our
we have
last question.
because we have been hunting them, and they don't want to be hunted. And what was your question, Christy or Chrissy?
Let's
Can you
just see
can
here.
can you please ask that question again because it's sometimes TikTok skips over questions and
Yep. Yes, Chrissy. What's your question? And sometimes TikTok also filters your questions, so we don't get to see them. And I still don't see you, Christy. Your question.
I'm saying mean, vicious, it's
Yeah, I
negative.
don't see. And again, if we don't get to see your question, TikTok does have a filter, so that this could be the reason, depending how you word your question. Let's see here. Chrissy, what's your question? I see you there, but I don't see the question. I love something Dino's. Your questions might be filtered, Dino, just like everybody else. It happens on TikTok. If you're relatively new, they do. The algorithm will actually filter a question, so we won't see it.
Just ask
Commander, the
just ask your question again because I don't know
yeah,
what TikTok is.
yeah, Chrissy, ask the question. We're looking at all the comments here. If we don't see the question, then it's being filtered, and we have nothing to do with the filtering of questions. That's TikTok. Why wouldn't April tell the ships to come to Connecticut to say hi on May 25th? I think she's asking back in May why she's asking why we have no control over whether the ships come to Connecticut or come to France or come to Rome, Italy. We have nothing to do with that, and it's not even up to April to make that decision. To answer your question, let's see here.
All right.
That's my answer to your question. So we're gonna let April go to sleep. I'm gonna be heading out. They are always in Vermont. They are coming, Chrissy. You have to be patient. You see, you have to learn patience as a human being. The elevation of your consciousness is being unconditionally willing to expand your consciousness in patience. With patience comes many things. When you're impatient, that doesn't help you grow into a spiritual cosmic being of light. That just is your mind saying, come on now, let's get with it. Let's do it right now. It doesn't work that way. Nothing works that way. You have to just let go of your thing and just let things happen and flow with it. If you do, many beautiful things will happen. But if you have to have control of things and say, why didn't this happen now? Or why didn't this happen yesterday? You don't control that. Your mind might be working in the 3D world saying this is the way it should be. You have to just throw your mind aside and just go with the flow of the universe. And if you do that, and you go, instead of fighting the universe, go with the flow of it, Chrissy, many more things will be much clearer in your consciousness than they are now. Absolutely. That's my answer, which I think is a pretty direct answer. And we're going to call it a night, everybody. We love you all. And we'll see you tomorrow night. No, tomorrow night I might be up at the apple orchard looking at the aurora borealis. So we'll see. So if not on tomorrow night, a well-deserved break for me. I'll be up looking with my night vision equipment, my wife, at the aurora borealis, which is very strong. The sun is very strong right now. So get outside. Depending where you are on the earth, you'll be able to see the aurora borealis. You'll be able to see the beautiful colors
Yep,
pulsating.
and this is it. And this is it this time, guys. It's the real one.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a real borealis. Um, so, Chrissy, you have to let go of that, Chrissy. I speak to you in all regards of love. You need to just let go. You need to let go. Because if you don't let go, you're not going to be able to expand your consciousness, and you won't be able to really learn the things that we're teaching you. If you hold on to your belief systems, and if something doesn't happen the way you perceive it to be, it doesn't mean it's not happening. There's a lot of stuff happening that you're not seeing. So you need to let go of those things in order to expand your consciousness. Thank you for the baseball cap, Octava. We appreciate that. You know, and yeah, if there's any, Chrissy, if you have any anger, I don't know if you do have any anger or whatever, but whatever's going on in your head, you need to let go of it. You know, you need to just let go of it. Hope Dealer says, "Beam me up, Scotty." And someday, Scotty, you certainly will be beamed up. Nice to meet you, Hope.
Hi,
Let me see
Julie.
here.
All
Okay,
right.
so we're gonna try to sign out here, folks. And I hope you all have a beautiful night. Thanks for being here. We'll be on, if not tomorrow night, we'll be on Monday night, depending what's going on with the sky and the sun and everything. April, take care. Get some
I
sleep.
love all you guys. You guys have a great night. And remember, guys, keep your eyes to the skies.
Absolutely. And next Saturday night is another night of Ashtar Command Q&A. Our family is always welcome to speak from the ships. Tonight we did most of the speaking, April and I answering your questions, but we always will have an open mic to our space family, and they are listening to the show. And I'm sure they were just as well enjoying April and I answering your questions. They know that we can, and they don't always have to answer the questions. We already know the answers. So I thank you all for being here. Everybody, take care. Thank you for the gifts, and
Thank
have
you,
a good night,
everybody.
April.
You too, brother. I love you.
All right, same here. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.